unstoppable, unshakable, but it rolls off the tongue, unfakeable. It's unavoidable. He's so relatable. Read between the lines, start to loosen up your mind.
And welcome again to Shark Farmer Radio. I'm your host, Rob Sharkey. We're in the studios today just outside of Bradford, Illinois. It's a beautiful day that we're not planning, but hey, we're not going to talk about that.
Hey, the sun is shining. That's a good thing.
That's right. What I want to talk about today is what you're doing tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. So tomorrow we're doing, well, what's always been called Race for the Cure.
Yeah.
So my mom and Anita, our daughter, we always do Race for the Cure together, but this year I guess they're morphing it into what's called More Than Pink Walk. But yeah, so we do this every year. It's tradition to fight breast cancer because my grandma had breast cancer. My mom had breast cancer, but she found it early and she is breast cancer free now because of early detection. Mm-hmm. And I've had at least 4 cousins who've battled cancer. And so it really is in our family. So we always are good about getting mammograms and keeping an eye on things, but we do walks like this so we can fund research to basically live in a world someday where we are breast cancer free.
It wasn't too long ago that it was almost a death sentence. I mean, you're talking like the last 40 years.
Yeah.
That it was almost a death sentence when someone had breast cancer, but now they've come leaps and bounds with it.
Oh, yeah. They've had people, they really, really want you to have a mammogram every year so you can have early detection. Because if you catch it early, like my mom did, it's so much better than fighting it, stage 3, stage 4.
Yeah, going through the whole rigmarole. So, yeah. Oh, how far are you walking or running tomorrow?
Well, so they also took out the timed event. So, me, I like my half marathons, but
You're a little competitive.
Yeah, this is not a half marathon event. So it's a walk. So it's a family. So my dad's going to do it with us this year, which is really cool. So, yeah. So we're walking like a 5K. So it's more about oh gosh, there's thousands of people. It's so cool. When you get up on the top of the hill in Peoria and you look back, there's probably 5,000 or 10,000 people walking with you. Everybody's dressed in pink and different colors, and it's so cool.
Now, is it done this day across the country, or did they scatter it out?
I think they scatter them.
Okay.
It's been a Susan G. Komen event for years.
Yeah.
And so, so they're all over. They're in the Quad Cities. They're in all kinds of, different states. But
well, very cool. I know you look forward to that every year.
Yeah.
So let's get to our guest today. I'm excited and nervous. Is that fair to say? Have I been nervous today about our guest?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say more excited than nervous.
Okay, Varen D'Souza. Now, Varen, did I say that right?
You got it right, Rod. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you bet. When I met you on social media years ago, in my mind, I always read it as Viren. So I called you Viren forever. And then it's still, to this day, when you learn how to say someone's name in your mind wrong, it's hard to break that habit. So I almost maybe need like a shot collar or something.
Well, the first one, and I don't think you'll be the last one. My question to you is, how many people did you have to check with to get it right?
Just a few. But are you in the United States right now?
I am. I am currently in Columbus, Nebraska, the great state of Nebraska.
Okay, because you're from up there in Ontario, correct?
Yeah, I live in Peterborough, Ontario, about an hour and a half east of Toronto.
Nobody knows that stuff here. I know you've been on the Ontario AgCast, and you guys went into detail about where everything was. You got to think bigger here. So just say, I'm from Canada. People will be happy with that.
Tell you what, I really didn't know where Nebraska was either. So I was just glad that there were direct flights to Omaha.
What are you doing in Nebraska?
So I sell and service Oracle compactors, and I have a customer down here at a mill, Barcel Mill and Lumber in Columbus, Nebraska, who bought one, and I'm helping them get it started up. Their plan is to bale wood chips and shavings and mulch and things like that. So I've been here since Monday, kind of teaching them how to run the machine and getting the machine set up.
Okay. Yeah, and I want to get into the baled storage later because that's something that, honestly, you're the only one that I know that is doing all that. But let's get into who you are. Now, you're from Canada, so tell me, was this baled storage? Was this always the plan? Was this always what you were going to do when you were growing up?
No, it wasn't. I like most people of my generation, I did not know what I was going to do when I got done high school, and I probably changed my mind about 3 times, and I'm probably on like the 4th iteration right now. I came up with this. I didn't come up with it per se. I was looking for something different to get into, something that wasn't out in the marketplace. And I found the compactor out there, and I started retailing them and servicing them.
Okay. All right. So when you got out of high school, you didn't go right into this, though, did you?
No, I got done high school. I actually went to college for TV broadcasting, and that's not the in front of the camera stuff. This is all the behind the camera stuff. That's what I went to college for the first go around. And that didn't quite pan out for me. So I ended up traveling. I went out to New Zealand for a little bit, came back, and went back to did work on a few farms here and there, like around where I live, beef farms and that sort of thing. And went back to school, took the electrical technician program. And then right after I got done that, I was looking for a way to put that and agriculture together and start fixing milk equipment.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to talk more about this, more about Varen, more about baled storage after the break. Varen de Souza. I'm so proud I can say that right. We'll be back with Varen right after the break.
A ground shaker, a rule breaker. Hold tight, he'll roll you through every acre.
Every farmer knows there are lots of steps to having a perfect season. Don't let your fertilizer plan be the step that trips you up. For over 35 years, AgroLiquid has had the experts and the products that'll help you move closer to your target. No matter when you apply fertilizer, no matter how, you'll hit the bullseye. AgroLiquid is the perfect fit for your planter fertilizer program. To learn more, go to agroliquid.com. AgroLiquid moves you closer to your target.
How do you know when to run your grain bin fans? There's an app for that. With the Steps GMS app, you can manually turn your fans on and off from your smartphone. You can also configure the Steps GMS app to automatically turn fans on when the humidity or temperature is ideal to keep your grain in top quality condition. Save yourself some time and take the guesswork out of managing your stored grain with the Steps GMS app. Contact us at stepsgms.com for more information.
Decisions. Soybean and corn growers have to make 1 million of them every year. So UPL has narrowed your herbicide decision a little by creating Moccasin 2 Plus. You see, Moccasin 2 Plus works with every variety and trait of soybean seed and provides long-lasting pre-emergent control of multiple annual grasses and small-seeded broadleaf weeds. So make the easy decision, Moccasin 2 Plus. To learn more, contact your local distributor or UPL representative. Always read and follow label directions.
When looking for someone to help with your risk management, a key component to look for is patience. Patience to bring you along in the process at your own speed. Patience to learn about your operation. And patience to not only discuss what strategies may be effective for your plan, but why they would be effective. That's the strength of Grain PhD. I'm Darren Hefty. When you're ready to become more engaged in your risk management, Grain PhD can assist you with that process. Visit grainphd.com to learn more.
High-yield corn growers know that feeding the crop and soil are keys to maximizing yield potential. Nutex EDA and Reverb are specifically formulated to help manage limiting factors associated with today's farming conditions. Nutex EDA works within the plant to support nutrient mobility and utilization. Reverb focuses on the soil, providing beneficial trace elements which help condition the root zone for optimal microbial activity. Low use rates and superb tank mix compatibility make Nutex EDA and Reverb no-brainers in the high-yield grower toolbox.
Now, when you race tomorrow, do you have like the whole numbers and everything on your back?
Yeah, we've got numbers on our back, and then we write all of our family members who have fought breast cancer on the back too. It's really cool. You write everybody's name, and then my mom gets a special shirt because she fought breast cancer and won. So,
I like you talking more. Do you
You
know,
do.
I had a comment the other day as someone that had listened to the podcast for the first time because they listened to the radio show.
Yeah.
And they said they were disappointed because you weren't on it.
Oh, aw, that's sweet.
Today we're talking with Varen DeSouza from up there in Canada, but he's on holiday, I guess is how they say it up there. You're in Nebraska. How are you finding Nebraska, Varen?
It's interesting. It's the Midwest. I don't know if this is considered the Midwest or not, but it certainly has its own culture out here.
I'm guessing it's a Midwest. I mean, I'm sure there's people in Nebraska would have called themselves the West, but no, they're the Midwest. There's no Tim Hortons.
There's definitely no Tim Hortons, and there are certainly restaurants down here that we don't have in Canada. So I'm making a point of stopping at them, especially the Mexican food trucks. I'm definitely stopping at them.
Oh, are they in the Mexican food trucks in Nebraska? I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, the lady starts talking to me in Spanish, and then I have to reply back in English. So I presume she's Mexican.
I saw you hit the Runza out there. That was a big thing on our dirt road tour. We'd never been to a Runza before.
I only went to the Runza because you mentioned it. It was the biggest disappointment of this entire trip, I tell you.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. It's fine. Like as a fast food, it's fine. But yes, the people in Nebraska seem to talk that up so much. I got to say, I was expecting more. But when I went there, they made every single thing on the menu, and they made it well in advance of us coming, so everything was kind of cold. So maybe it's better than I thought. But your vote is that it's disappointing, huh?
There was only 3 Runzas on the menu. The rest was burgers and, like chicken fingers. Like, I can get chicken fingers and burgers anywhere, but I can only get a Runza in Nebraska. And so if you're going to feed me a Runza in Nebraska, it better be the best Runza out there. But because there's only Runzas in Nebraska that they're letting that slide.
There's no poutine on the Runza menu?
There definitely wasn't a Runza poutine.
You know what? You're probably better off with that. All right, so we're talking about you. You were going into the TV career, and luckily it was behind the cameras because, well, self-explanatory stuff there. And I've got to say, you're throwing me a little bit because I would have guaranteed to anybody that you were going to be mean to me, but here you are, you're just being all calm and stuff.
Well, I get the impression, Rob, that you're treating this interview like it's a ticking time bomb and you don't know when it's going to go off.
That's exactly, and I would have expected it to go off before now. So this is like the worst thing that you could have done. But let's go back to your baled storage. Tell me what that is, because that's going to be a new concept to a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a few of them in the U.S. right now, and there's a number of them in Europe and China and overseas. It's basically a stationary round baler, if you can imagine that, and to put it in the most basic terms, and you're feeding bulk material into it, and it's baling it, compacting it, and baling it into a round bale that's then wrapped in plastic, kind of like those giant marshmallows you see out in the field. So this sort of allows you to bale bulk material like corn silage or shavings or sawdust or wood chips or municipal garbage, if that's what you wanted to do, and then bale it for easy storage and transport around, because now you're transporting bulk material in bales on flatbeds that cost half as much as a walking floor. So your freight rate starts to go down. Lots of other benefits, but that's the primary one that we're seeing around here.
How much do you actually compact this stuff? I mean, are you getting a lot more on a truck than if you just filled a trailer with wood shavings?
Yeah, if you think of the bigger walking floors that you see around, they're probably 150 yards. Most guys will tell you they can't fit 150 yards on there. On a 48-foot flat deck, you can probably fit 46 bales if you do 2 rows of 24 on the bottom and 2 rows of 22 up top. And then on shavings, we're probably putting 4 yards to the bale. That's at 2.5 to 1 compression. So you're probably at 160 yards in bales versus not 150 yards in a walking floor. So right away, you're putting more material on a cheaper truck to send it further. And that's where you start seeing the savings.
I'm just trying to think of all the stuff you could bale now. You ever try baling that cottage cheese?
I haven't, Rob, but if
No.
you would like to purchase a baler to try that, I'd be more than happy to sell one to you.
I'm just trying to think of the things that you could ship easier. I mean, you think about how hard it is to ship all that cottage cheese around the country, man. If you could bale that stuff up and just kind of compact it, maybe. Oh man, that's you should write that down and look at that business model.
Oh, you know what, Rob? I am starting a list specifically for this. I'll just keep a running list of Rob's suggestions. It'll just be a running list, and you know what? Just feel free to call me anytime. You have my number. Call me anytime after. Cottage cheese, it's number one, Rob.
Okay. All right. You've had some videos on social media and out there of this thing running. This is no low-tech thing. This baler looks like it's like state-of-the-art.
It definitely looks complicated, but coming from a background where I used to fix milking robots, this is actually kind of simple. When I look at it, there's maybe 25 sensors on it versus a robot that I probably had 4 times as many. And it's not really that complicated. I mean, it's not one complicated process. It's 30 simple things happening in a sequence. You just need to know the sequence. And the more time you put on the machine, the more familiar you'll get on it and be able to dial it into for higher throughput. I mean, there's guys in China that don't even have a grade 8 education running this machine. So I think most people will be just fine.
But this isn't something that you could take out and bale hay with, is it?
You could bale hay if you ground it up or chopped it up, but the problem with that is, relatively speaking, hay is a low value commodity, and there's lots of regular hay balers out there. Regular hay balers are a dime a dozen. There's probably 30 different brands out there selling hay balers, but there's not many that will bale corn silage.
It's no cottage cheese.
Fodder.
Yeah, that's right.
Or cottage cheese. I completely forgot about that. I gotta get my list open here. Cottage cheese. Okay.
Okay. Emily and I are going to think over the break of different stuff that you could bale. We'll be back with Varen DeSouza right after the break.
Read between the lines, start to loosen up your mind.
Build with the best. When you choose Morton Buildings for your next farm storage building, you'll experience the Morton advantage at every step, starting before the walls even go up. Since the value of our buildings is in its ability to protect what you have stored inside, we ensure that every component is researched and tested to withstand the elements in all weather conditions. And we back it up with the strongest warranty in the business. Looks better, built stronger, lasts longer. Learn more at mortonbuildings.com.
You need a powerful herbicide to fight the war on weeds. Bellum is Rotam North America's mesotrione herbicide, and it fights against the annual broadleaf weeds attacking your cornfields. Winning this battle means higher yields, lower cost to you, and maximized profitability. For long-lasting and residual weed control, check out Evinco, Vilify, and our newest mix, Rixa. For application, flexibility, and season-long control, that's Evinco, Vilify, and Rixa, powered by Bellum. For more information, visit bellumherbicide.com. That's BELLUM herbicide.com.
When it comes to my weed control, I know a head start can go a long way. That's why I spray early, so I can keep control all season long with the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, the system that makes the difference. This is my field.
Choose the Roundup Ready Extend crop system for control of more weeds than any other soybean system. Featuring XtendiMax herbicide with Vapor Grip technology to manage tough-to-control weeds, including up to 14 days of soil activity, along with the field-proven performance of Roundup Ready to Extend soybeans. Now you have the right tools to extend your weed control and extend your yield with the system that makes the difference. Learn how you can put the system to work in your field when you visit RoundupReadyExtend.com. XtendiMax is a restricted-use pesticide. Performance may vary. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions. Check local regulations for specific requirements in your state.
Think about a quarter inch of rain. That's all it takes to activate Armazon Pro herbicide in your corn and protect against weeds. Now think about a full inch of rain, the amount most other herbicides require for activation. How long will you have to wait to get that? The weeds hope you choose another herbicide. Your corn hopes you choose Armazon Pro herbicide. Pick a winner. Talk to your BASF rep about Armazon Pro herbicide today. Grow smart with BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
White mold, sudden death syndrome, root rot. If you raise soybeans, it may seem like you have all the cards stacked against you when it comes to disease. But did you know there is a new cost-effective seed treatment which can help prevent all three? Heads Up Seed Treatment offers a new proactive approach for dealing with fungal and bacterial diseases. Compatible with other seed treatments, hedge your bet against disease this spring. Ask your dealer for Heads Up today. To locate a dealer, visit headsupst.com.
Yeah, we didn't come up with a whole lot of suggestions. Pudding. We thought maybe you could bale pudding.
Oh, good grief. That was not mine. I did not say pudding, by the way.
You were asking about the garbage, though.
I was asking about the garbage. Is that economical way to send garbage, or is that another one of those things that's just not worth doing?
Is it, Vern?
I think it depends where you are. In North America, it's really cheap to just dig a hole and shove your garbage down in there. You go to places like Europe, and they're running out of land space. Places like the UK, I think maybe the last year for a permit for a landfill is 2020 or 2025. So they have to deal with theirs somehow. So they're processing it and then shipping it away for fuel. I think there was a baler at a town in Greenland, and it was a remote location, and pretty hard to dig a hole in Greenland. And so they were just shipping their garbage out in bales to, I think, Denmark or something like that, and then burning it in an incinerator.
Yeah, even in Illinois, I know, like coming out of Chicago, that is always a thing, is the trucking cost, because you do have to have specific trucks for it. And yeah, I don't know, the whole concept is kind of curious when you think about the cost of just running a flatbed with some compressed baled garbage. That'd be interesting you could be on to the next big thing. You ever thought about that?
I'm sure hoping so, and I'm hoping this radio show will propel me off into prosperity.
No, it won't. It won't.
No,
and you
okay,
should be used to disappointing, right? Because you came up with a very famous quote at one time, and then you didn't trademark it, and it got stolen, didn't you? Tell us that whole story.
That's right. Well, I was dairy farming in Saskatchewan, as you do, and I was getting really frustrated, and I came up with this quote that said, farming is the art of working 400 hours a month to feed people that are trying to kill you, or that think you're trying to kill them, rather.
It's hilarious.
And I came up with that all by myself, and it's been disappointing that it's been stolen from me. Sonny Perdue stole it from me, your ag secretary.
He held up a T-shirt on there, and it was because I've seen it on a T-shirt several. I've seen it at Farm Progress Show. They were selling it at T-shirts or whatever. But then you had the ultimate insult to you. And do you think it's Canadian that he did that? He was rubbing it in your face because we were doing a trade war thing, and here he says, "Hey, I'm going to steal your quote and rub it in your face."
That's probably what it is, and more than likely, I'm sure you told him to do it.
I don't know the man, so no, it was not me. But anyway, I want to apologize on behalf of our USDA that we stole your quote for our entertainment. I'm sorry, Farren.
I don't accept your apology, but I think we can move on from
that. Okay, so let's finish up on this bale storage stuff too, because you are running the baler, but you're also selling them, right?
Yeah, I do sell them in Canada anyways. This one here was a used one that he had purchased from the company, so they came down to get it fired up. I do sell them. A lot of them, it's still very much catching on here in Canada and the U.S. Very much a new product to the market.
Okay. Go ahead and tell people where they can find you. Maybe you'll sell some.
Oh, yeah, baledstorage.com. Visit it, and if you want any information on it, shoot me a message. It'll come right to my phone, no problem. And you can find me on Twitter at Milkabot. Ding that thing again there, Rob.
Thank you for telling me.
and also on Snapchat. I'm Milkabot on Snapchat as well. And thank you. There we go.
Are you happy? Yes.
I'm not on Instagram, so I'm not on Instagram, so I don't need an Instagram.
Oh man, you can always find us at Sharky Farms on Instagram. We had a run-in yesterday with one of your buddies on Instagram. He was mocking and making fun of my beard, Derek Josie from out west, and his other friend from out west, there, Michelle McGigger, both former guests of the shows. They think it's funny to make fun of my beard, Vern. I didn't think it was very funny.
Well, the thing is, I didn't know who you were referring to off the get-go because, let's face it, Rob, the number of people that make fun of your beard is actually numerous.
I guess I didn't know that, Vern. Maybe we'll talk afterwards.
I wasn't supposed to tell you that. I wasn't supposed to tell you that. Sorry.
You wanted to. Now, again, you're talking to an audience that doesn't know Twitter, but yet the one thing you asked is that you could give some shout outs. So I'm going to step aside here. As long as you keep them clean, I'm going to let you go. Okay?
But they're going to be clean, Rob. Okay. The first shout out is to my girlfriend, Natalie Kellogg, because, I got to give her the first shout out. My good friend.
Who's your
Matt
girlfriend? Whoa. Who's your girlfriend?
You just interrupted my shout outs.
I know. It's my damn show. Okay. All right. You may continue. Hi, Natalie. Thank you from the Shark Farmer. All right. Continue.
Oh, Matt Darling, Heather Watson from Acorns 30, John Stratoff from
never heard of her.
From Wrexham.
Never heard of her.
Okay. Your favorite designing person, Leading Vine Design, got to give her a shout out.
Believe me,
Rachel
yeah.
Spangelo.
Okay, keep going. You're doing fine.
Yeah.
Quit interrupting me. Give your shout outs. This is live radio, Vern.
Michelle Newman,
Okay.
Rachel Spangelo.
How many do you have?
Used to all of my followers. All of my followers, Rob. All of the people who have put up with me on social media for the last 5, 6, however many years it is. Thank you for following me this entire time. It means a lot to me and your support along the way.
Aren't you forgetting somebody?
And Rob Sharkey and Emily Sharkey.
No, that was a joke because you never make a list. With social media, you never make a list, and here you did. You just made a list of people that you like. So all the people that are following you now that you didn't give a shout out are thinking to themselves, wow, he must not really like me. Maybe I should unfollow him. I suggest they do, friend. I suggest they do.
That's why I had that last one in, Rob. That's the trick.
No, that is not the correct. All right, so tell me here, you used to do the milking, right? You used to work on the milk machines and that.
Yep.
Okay, how tough is it to see all those people that you were working with now really suffering there with the milk prices?
In the U.S. And Canada to a certain degree, it is rough to see because. Having seen not to say that other farmers don't work as hard, but dairy farmers are there every day of the week, for the most part anyways, and twice a day, 3 times a day. And it's tough to see when people when you look at a segment of agriculture that's as connected to their livestock and their farms as dairy farmers are.
Okay, I'll say it. They work harder than grain farmers. Bar none.
I mean, think of how many radio shows and podcasts would be out there if every grain.
I know.
Did that bomb go off, Rob?
Yes, I know. And you must be worried about that from all your days of milking in Saskatchewan, coming up with quotes. Vern DeSosa, thank you for coming on the show. You're a lot of fun on social media. Go find them. It's VIREN. Put that in. You're probably going to find them in the ag sector because there's not many other people named like that. Next time you're at Starbucks or Tim Hortons, ask to put Vern on your cup. It's a fun game. Vern, thank you so very much. And to everybody else, we hope you catch us next time.